Welcome back to the 2014 OC Throwdown. I'm John Mustafa, your head judge for the event, and with me again is Games athlete J.C. Nessa to demonstrate some of the other movement standards you will encounter during the weekend. One movement you will encounter is the squat clean. For the squat clean, the athlete will elevate the barbell from the ground, extend, achieve a bottom of squat position with the hip crease below the top of the knees. The athlete will then return to a fully standing position with elbows in front of the barbell, hips fully locked out, knees fully locked out for the rep to count. Our next movement is the handstand push-up to handstand walk. For this movement, the athlete must begin on a skull mat in a tripod position on a headstand. The athlete will then do a handstand push-up to a full handstand and then perform a handstand walk to the next mat. For the rep to count, the athlete must break the plane of the next mat. The athlete at that point may come down in any fashion the athlete wants to, whether in a controlled manner or otherwise. If the athlete fails the handstand walk in between the mats, the athlete's forward progress is stopped at the point nearest the starting point, and then the athlete may resume by getting it back into a handstand in any fashion and proceed to the next mat. J.C. Nessa is going to demonstrate the movements for us. J.C. begins in a headstand to a handstand walk, broken the plane, good. Moving to the next mat, good. At this point, J.C. would come back to mat number 3, resume a headstand, push up into a handstand, and proceed to the next mat. The next movement is the thruster. For the thruster, the athlete will elevate the barbell from the ground to a front rack position, drop down to the bottom of squat position with the hip crease below the top of the knees. The athlete will then extend the barbell to a position directly overhead with elbows fully locked out, hips fully open, knees fully locked out. The next movement is the 3-rep touch and go snatch. The athlete will elevate the barbell to a position directly overhead in one continuous movement using any snatch the athlete desires. The athlete may use a power snatch. The athlete may use a full snatch. And the athlete may use a split snatch. Touch and go is a movement requirement. The next movement is the 3-position clean and a jerk. For this movement, the athlete will clean the bar beginning from the ground to the shoulders. The next movement will be from below the knees to the shoulders. The next above the knees to the shoulder, and then complete a jerk. The athlete may use any style of clean and any style of jerk, but the barbell may not touch the ground at any point after the first lift until after the jerk has been completed. The next event is the back squat. For the back squat, the athlete will begin in a fully standing position with the barbell resting across the back. The athlete will then achieve a bottom of squat position with the hip crease below the top of the knees and return to a fully standing position with the hips fully locked out, knees fully locked out. The next movement is the overhead squat. The athlete will suspend the barbell directly overhead and then perform a squat, achieving the bottom of squat position, hip crease below the top of the knees, and then return to a fully standing position, hips fully open, knees fully locked out. Our next movement is the muscle up. For the muscle up, the athlete will begin from a hanging position fully extended at the bottom of the rings. The athlete will then elevate to a position above the rings, achieving full lockout with the elbows at the top, at which point the rep is complete. JC, please demonstrate. Good. Good. There is no requirement for a flash out at the bottom. All the athlete must do is achieve full extension. Our next movement is the wall ball. For each wall ball, the athlete must begin in a fully standing position, hips open, knees fully locked out. The athlete will then descend to bottom of squat position with the hip crease below the top of the knees. The athlete will then stand back up in an explosive movement and toss the med ball to the designated target. For this movement, the athletes may drop the ball or allow the ball to bounce, but the athlete must return to a standing position before attempting the next wall ball. JC, would you demonstrate 2 good reps? Good. Now demonstrate a no rep with a bounce. Good. No rep. The athlete did not return to a fully standing position before attempting the next wall ball. Two good reps. The next movement is the power snatch. The athlete will elevate the barbell from a position from the ground to a position directly overhead in one continuous movement. You will not be penalized for performing a full squat snatch. At the end of the lift, the athlete must have elbows fully locked out, hips fully open, knees fully locked out. The next movement is the deadlift. For the deadlift, the athlete will elevate the barbell from the ground to a position where the athlete is fully standing, hips fully open, knees fully locked out, shoulders behind the plane of the barbell. For the rep to count, the athlete may not drop the barbell from the top. The athlete may chase the barbell down, but may not drop it. The athlete may also not bounce the bar on the bottom. JC is going to demonstrate 2 good reps and then 2 no reps. Good. Good. No rep, knees. No rep, bounce. Thank you for looking at our movement standards. I want to say thank you to JC Nessa again for helping us demonstrate. And I want to let the athletes know that you may see some additional movements during the event, and you will be briefed on those movements on the day of the event. Looking forward to seeing you in January, OC Throwdown 2014.